Pardon my dust, but this is a video going over a few things I learned about doing crown molding. So in the process of rebuilding this house after the flood, we decided to put crown molding up at the top of the walls, which have been replaced. So crown molding can be a little confusing because you're generally cutting not at how shall I say, at the you're not cutting it at the angles you would install it. Since they don't want it back on crown molding, you generally cannot cut it at the 45 degrees that it will be installed at. You cut it flat like that. So if you cut it flat like that, you gotta set the saw on some very curious angles in order to get the 45s at each joint. So firstly, you'll set the saw at a mark there, and that is pre-configured through 3.9, and then pre-configured down here through 1.6. And that's all you need to do. You don't ever need to change the saw. And I made these blanks or jigs or whatever examples, so I wouldn't make mistakes when I brought a crown molding piece up to the saw and needed to either do a left or a right, an inside corner or an outside corner. As you can see from here, I call this an inside left and an inside right. When this installs, it'll be at a 45 degree, and there's a flat side there for the roof ceiling and a flat side there for the wall. But when I cut it, I will put it on flat, like the saw flat like this. In order to cut a left, all I have to do is look at this saw and find out where left cut, or the left cut will match up with what the saw is going to do, like so. So I will need to take this piece, insert it like so into this saw, and cut it like that. So as you can see, the detail here, if that's going to be your top, which I chose to be the top, it will be on the outside of the board. And so this board would have to actually be flipped over, rotated all the way around, and inserted this direction. And then in order to the right side, if it's an inside right, you got to match it up again. As you see, this right here is not going to match up the cut angle of the saw. So I'm going to have to go back here, and it'll have to be inserted from here, and then the details up here. And you can do that just by pulling this back to the saw and then pushing it forward to get your cut there. So there's the inside and the left and the inside and the right. Now the outsides are about the same thing, only different. To get an outside left, kind of hard. There, you have to match it up like that, and then to pull the saw down like that. So you just match up the left side of your board and put it in there till you're cut, and make a cut. And the right side. Does that work? Nope. Does that work? Nope. Does that work? Nope. Yep, there you go. There's the right side. So you insert it from there. Make sure you get your detail on the right side of the saw cut, and then you just bring down and do your cut. You gotta make sure you get your detail, unless it's symmetric, and none of them are symmetric. You gotta make sure you get your detail on the right side of the saw cut. So I have made that mistake a few times. And sometimes you'll mix an inside with an outside. But probably make a couple of pieces like this, and it'll help anyone who's not a master at corner molding to muddle through it without wasting too much wood. And another thing about it is it's pretty hard to match up the length of the piece that you'll need. So I tend to make sure I cut it right, but also do it about a 1/2 inch long, and then kind of do a couple of iterations, measure it up to the wall, and cut a couple of more times. And one more added note is that on the outside corners, it's longer at the top, and on the inside corners, it's longer at the bottom. And on the inside corners, you can see the face, it's longer at the bottom. On the outside corners, it's longer at the top, and you can't see the face. So this may be things that are obvious to some people, but maybe somebody who hasn't done it before might not notice that immediately. So that's my 2 cents on cutting crown molding.